Bgmc. The biblical truth lives here.
We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines news show on the Remnant's Call.
The Remnant's Call! End Time Prophecy! News, everybody. Da 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 da. The first news story comes from Israel.
Y la primera historia viene desde Israel.
Lots of stuff going on in the land in Israel this week.
Muchas cosas aconteciendo en Israel en esta semana.
The first news story comes from 2,700 years ago.
Y la primera viene de datada esta historia de 2700 años atrás.
There you see the oldest reference to the city of Jerusalem.
Ahí puedes ver la referencia más antigua mencionando a la ciudad de Jerusalén.
This is older than the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Eso es mucho más antiguo que los rollos del Mar Muerto.
Okay, it's a papyrus dating to the first temple period, 2,700 years ago, that mentions Jerusalem.
Esto es un papiro que fue hallado, datado de unos 2700 años de antigüedad, mencionando la ciudad de Jerusalén.
Going on to the next news story. Okay, Israel is always trying to bless the nations.
Israel siempre está tratando de bendecir a las naciones.
South Africa has run out of water.
Y Sudáfrica carece del agua.
The country is out of water.
Ya esa ciudad no tiene agua.
But they're near an ocean.
Pero ellos están cerca del océano.
Israel knows how to take the water from the ocean
Israel sabe cómo tomar esa agua del océano
and make it drinking water.
y hacerla una agua potable.
So they offered South Africa to say, we'll help you for
Y
free.
ellos le ofrecieron a Sudáfrica ayudarlos de gratis.
We'll show you how it's done.
Y nosotros podemos enseñarte cómo hacerlo.
And the South African country said, no.
Y la ciudad de Sudáfrica dijo que no.
Stupid people.
Personas estúpidas.
Going on to the next news story.
Otra historia.
Okay. The United States lawmakers, a couple of Republicans, were in Israel this week.
Algunas de las personas creadores de las leyes en Israel se reunieron.
And they say Judea and Samaria belong to Israel.
Y dijeron que Judea y Samaria pertenecen a Israel. Amén.
That didn't make the Muslims very happy.
Eso no alegró a los musulmanes.
But we stand with Israel, okay?
Pero nos paramos junto a Israel.
Going on to the next news story in Israel.
Esta otra historia sobre Israel.
This is a big one, everybody.
Esta es una historia grande.
Get ready for the war.
Prepárense para la guerra.
Get ready for the Psalm 83 war.
Prepárense para la guerra del Salmo
And
83.
And Ezekiel 38 to happen right before your eyes.
También Ezequiel 38 ocurriendo frente a tus ojos.
That is the so-called president of Russia.
Ese es el presidente ruso.
Russia said they will use nuclear weapons on anybody who attacks their allies.
Y Rusia dijo que iba a utilizar armas nucleares para todos aquellos que se pararan en contra de sus aliados.
He was saying that about Israel.
Y estaban hablando de eso contra Israel.
Who is an ally of Russia?
¿Quiénes son los aliados de Rusia?
Iran.
Irán.
So Israel needs to take out that country before they nuke Israel.
Y Israel debe de tomar esas naciones antes de que ellos ataquen a Israel.
So Russia said, you do that, we're going to blow up you.
Y Rusia dijo, si haces eso, entonces te explotamos a ti.
And they unveiled a new nuclear weapon that nobody can stop.
Y ellos estaban mostrando esos misiles nucleares que nadie puede detener.
It's a hypersonic missile.
Es un misil hipersónico
And nobody can stop.
que nadie puede detener.
Going on to the news, anti-Semitism news stories.
Estas son noticias antisemíticas.
In America, it's getting pretty bad out there.
En América se ha estado haciendo un poco incómodo allá afuera.
We had the highest recorded number of anti-Semitic acts in 2017.
Y estuvimos en el récord más mayor de lo que es ataques de antisemitismo en el 2017.
Almost 2,000 attacks on Jews this past year.
En ese año pasado casi unos 2000 ataques antisemíticos.
So when you're out there,
Si estás allá afuera,
be careful.
ten mucho cuidado.
Be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Estate atento a todo lo que está aconteciendo a tu alrededor.
Going on to the other news, anti-Semitic news story.
Ujú.
Poland is very anti-Semitic.
Y Polonia es muy antisemítico.
In 1946, a document has been revealed
Y en 1946 un documento que fue revelado
that the Polish government was worse or equal to the Nazi government in hurting the Jews.
que el gobierno polaco era igual o quizás peor que el gobierno nazi contra los judíos.
And they're the same way today as they were then.
Y ellos están de la misma forma en estos días como estuvieron en aquel entonces.
I guess they haven't learned their lesson.
Parece que ellos no han aprendido la lección.
Going on to the next news story, the end time prophecy news. Please pay attention to all these different stories.
Por favor, preste atención a todas esas noticias que están aconteciendo arrancando de los
The
encabezados.
first prophecy news.
Y esta primera noticia
In
profética.
Zechariah chapter 12, the prophet Zechariah
Y el profeta Zacarías en el capítulo 12
said, in the end of days, all nations will be against Israel.
dijo que todas las naciones al final de los tiempos iban a estar en contra de Israel.
Remember earlier I said that South Africa was out of water?
Recuérdense que hace un rato dije que Sudáfrica estaba sin agua.
And now they're cutting diplomatic ties to Israel
Ahora están cortando sus relaciones diplomáticas con Israel.
because they said Israel is an apartheid nation.
Porque ellos dicen que Israel es una nación, ¿cómo?
Anybody apartheid, Connie? Segregation nation.
Apartada, una nación apartada.
Okay? Now wait till you see the news story later on about South Africa.
Y espero que usted vea esa noticia que tenemos de Sudáfrica después.
Going on to the next prophecy. In John 17, verse 14, Messiah Yeshua said that you're going to be hated for following him.
Y en Juan 17:14 el Mesías Yeshua dice que vas a ser odiado por seguirlo a él.
Going on to the news story.
Es otra historia
In Kenya.
en Kenia.
Now we worship very securely, pretty much, don't we?
Aquí adoramos en una forma bien segura,
But in Kenya they do not.
pero en Kenia no se hace así.
Muslims came into a Christian church
Los musulmanes vinieron a una iglesia cristiana
and they came into some Christian homes
y ellos vinieron a esos hogares cristianos
at night
en tiempo de la noche.
and they beheaded 4 Christian men
Y ellos estuvieron maltratando a 4 cristianos
just for being a follower of Messiah.
solamente por ser seguidores del Mesías.
And the woman, she escaped.
Y la mujer que escapó
They had a hiding space in their home
tenían un lugar apartado, escondido en su casa,
called the roof.
que se llama el techo.
And she said, my husband was struggling and screaming,
Y ella dice, mi esposo estaba gritando y luchando con ellos,
but these gang of Muslims
pero esta pandilla de musulmanes
overpowered him,
se sobrepasaron sobre él,
cut his throat, and chopped off his head,
cortaron su garganta y le cortaron luego la cabeza,
all for being a follower of Messiah.
solamente por ser un seguidor del Mesías.
So when I tell you to keep the laws of God
Cuando le digo a ustedes que mantengan guarden la ley
and
de
to
Dios
follow Yeshua,
y que sigan a Yeshua,
this will not happen to you.
eso no te pasaría.
Because God said in Deuteronomy, I will protect you.
Porque el Señor ya dijo en Deuteronomio, yo te protegeré.
But not if you're not doing it beforehand.
Pero no si no lo haces de antemano.
Going on to the next news story. Hear how bad America is?
Así es que qué tan mal está Estados Unidos.
This guy, Chris Pratt, I don't know what he acted in, but he's an actor.
No sé en cuál película lo he visto actuar, pero su nombre
What
es
did he act in?
Chris Pratt.
Guardian of the Galaxies. Okay, he's
Él
the
está-
actor from Guardian of the Galaxies. I thought
Ella-
Yeshua was Guardian of the Galaxy.
Él está en la película del Guardián del Universo de la Galaxia.
I pictured him a little different.
Ya lo veía de otra forma.
Well, anyway, his friend had a heart attack.
De todas formas, su amigo tuvo un ataque al corazón.
His friend Kevin Smith from the movie Clerks had a heart attack.
Su amigo tuvo un ataque al corazón.
So on Facebook, he asked people to pray for Kevin because he had a 100% blockage.
Y él le pidió en su Facebook, estaba pidiendo que oraran por su amigo que tuvo un ataque al corazón.
So people mocked him for asking for prayer for his friend.
Y las personas lo que hicieron fue marcándolo por estar haciendo ¿cómo? Se burlaban de él por estar pidiendo oración por su amigo.
This is what kind of country we're becoming.
Esta es la clase de nación que nos hemos convertido.
Going on to the next news story. In Ephesians chapter 5,
En Efesios capítulo 5,
verse 25,
en el versículo 25,
it says, husbands, love your wives.
dice, esposos amen a sus mujeres,
That means
esposos.
keep your vows.
Quiere decir, mantén tus votos.
So if you're married, keep your vows.
Si eres casado, mantén tu voto.
Now, why is that important?
¿Por qué eso es tan importante?
Because we've been talking about guns lately.
Porque últimamente hemos estado hablando de armas de fuego.
26 of the 27 mass shooters, the men,
26 de 27 hombres que son mass shooters.
okay,
Disparadores
Murderers.
Disparadores en masa, asesinos.
these men came from houses that did not have a father.
Estos hombres han venido de hogares sin padre.
This is how important men you are to your families.
Eso es qué tan importante son ustedes hombres en sus familias.
26 out of 27, that's the common factor.
Ese es el factor común, unos 26 de 27 en el número de los hombres.
Going on to the next news story. In Genesis, Bereshit chapter 1,
En Génesis 1,
verse 27,
en el versículo
it
27,
said God made them male and female.
dice que Dios creó hombre y mujer.
We have any men here?
¿Tenemos algunos hombres aquí?
We have any women here?
¿Tenemos algunas mujeres?
God made you the way you're supposed to be. He didn't make any mistakes.
Dios te hizo de la forma que debes de ser, no hizo errores.
Now, going on to the news story,
Y en esta otra historia,
at Purdue University, so boycott Purdue University,
entonces hay un boicot contra la Universidad de Purdue.
they say you can't use the word man anymore,
Ellos dicen que no puedes utilizar el nombre o la palabra hombre.
like
más.
mailman.
Ya no puedes decir como cartero.
You can't use the word congressman anymore,
Ya no puedes decir hombre del Congreso, ¿no?
because that's sexist.
Porque eso te excluye del sexo.
No, that's
dice.
real, you idiots.
No, eso realmente es la realidad, idiota.
Okay? It is real.
Es la realidad.
So boycott Purdue University.
Así que vamos a hacer un boicot con esta
Don't send your children to this disgusting school.
universidad. Pero no mandes a tu hijo en esta basura de universidad.
Can't use the word mailman. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 and 7
Deuteronomio 6, versos 6 y 7,
said we're supposed to teach our children at home.
dice que deberíamos de enseñar a los hijos en la casa.
Okay, do you know that's illegal in many nations of the world?
¿Sabías que esto es ilegal enseñar en las casas en algunos lugares de la nación? Y del mundo?
Imagine going on to the news story.
Y en esta otra historia,
You were in Norway
si estás en Norway
and the police came and took your child because you were schooling the kid at home.
y la policía viene y toma a tus hijos porque estás educando a tu hijo en casa.
The government of Norway, they don't have enough problems.
Y entonces el gobierno de Norway tiene todo ese problema.
The police came to this woman's house
Y la policía vino a este hogar de esta mujer
and took her child away because she was homeschooling the child.
y tomó a su hijo de ella porque ella estaba educando al niño en casa.
And then when she tried to get the child back,
Y cuando ella intentaba de tomar el niño de vuelta,
the police tackled the woman and shoved her head in the snow.
la policía la golpeó a esta mujer y puso su cara en la nieve.
This is why
Esa es la razón por qué.
you need a friend called Smith & Wesson.
Por eso es la razón que necesitas un amigo llamado Smith & Wesson.
My friend Springfield from his armory.
Y mi amigo Springfield y su
And his
armadillo.
Jewish friend Mossberg.
Y también su amigo judío más.
Because you could be in San Jose, California,
Porque puedes estar en San José, California,
where these two coaches in San Jose
donde estos dos entrenadores de San José
were taking pictures of your children naked.
estuvieron tomando fotografías de tus hijos desnudos.
So you can homeschool your child,
Así que puedes hacer clase en casa.
and now these guys have been arrested because they had thousands of pictures of pornography on their phone. Child pornography.
Y estas personas arrestadas por tener miles de fotografías de niños desnudos de niños.
Look at the name, Isabel.
Mira el nombre, Isabel.
Papa Dakis. Going on to the next news story. In the end of days, evil will be called good and good will be called evil.
Al final de los tiempos, lo malo iba a ser llamado bueno y lo bueno malo.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20.
Isaías 5:20.
Going on to the news story. Here in South Africa,
En esa historia de Sudáfrica,
the parliament voted to seize the land owned by all white farmers.
el Congreso del Parlamento votó para que se deshicieran de todo lo que son los
They didn't care.
estos granjeros.
They didn't care if you owned it.
Ellos no les interesa si tú eres dueño de eso.
Just because you're white, they're going to take your farm.
Solamente porque eres blanco van a tomar tu granja.
And you call Israel a segregated country?
Y le llamas a Israel una nación segregada.
No wonder God took your water away.
No me sorprende porque Dios tomó toda tu agua.
Remember, there are no races.
Recuerden que sé que no hay razas.
There's just levels of stupidity.
Solamente hay nivel de estupidez.
We're all the same, everybody.
Somos todos iguales.
Okay? We all come from Adam and Chava.
Todos venimos de Adán y Java.
And then after the flood, there were the three couples that had children.
Y después del diluvio hubieron estas tres parejas que tuvieron hijos.
There are no races on the planet, just good people, bad people, smart people, and stupid people.
No hay ninguna raza distinta, sino que hay personas buenas, malas, inteligentes, idiotas, etc.
Going on to the next news story. The Sodomites in Romans 1, verse 24.
Los sodomitas en Romanos 1:24.
Here in South Carolina. We might want to move there, but it's warm.
Y aquí en Carolina del Sur, quizá queremos ir para allá.
South Carolina made an amendment to their constitution.
Carolina del Sur hizo una enmienda de amén.
Okay? They said that gay marriage would be called fake.
Ellos dijeron que estos matrimonios homosexuales se debe de llamar falsos.
The government of South Carolina does not recognize homosexual marriages.
El
Amen?
gobierno de Carolina del Sur no reconoce matrimonios homosexuales.
They only recognize natural
Ellos
marriages.
solamente reconocen matrimonios normal.
And what is natural
¿Y
marriage?
qué es este matrimonio normal?
One man,
Un hombre
one
y
woman.
una mujer,
Okay? Not two men.
no dos hombres.
God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Dios hizo a
That doesn't work in
Adán
Spanish.
y Eva, no Adán y Esteban.
Okay, going on to the next news story. War. Please pay attention to this. Matthew 24, verse 7, Yeshua said there's going to be wars.
Mateo 24:7 ya Yeshua había hablado de eso, de las guerras.
Okay? The first war story,
La primera historia de guerra,
if it doesn't crash. Yes, crashed. Don't worry, we'll do it again. We're going to do all the news once again. 1 second, let me just get to the news. Okay, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost there, almost there. Okay, we're there. Okay. Russia develops an unstoppable intercontinental nuclear missile.
y Rusia desarrolló lo que es este misil nuclear internacional.
It is a
intercontinental.
ballistic missile that has an unlimited range.
Es un misil balístico que no tiene límites.
Okay, the only thing that can stop it is the railgun, but it doesn't have tracking.
Lo único que puede detenerlo es una arma real, pero no tiene forma de rastrearlo.
Okay? So Russia has said if Israel attacks its ally, they'll attack Israel.
Rusia dice si ataca a sus aliados, él iba a atacar a Israel.
Russia has also put their
También,
stealth fighters in Syria.
también Rusia ha puesto sus aviones bombarderos en Siria.
Okay? And says if Israel attacks Syria, Russia will attack Israel.
Y ya ha dicho nuevamente que si Israel ataca a Siria, ellos iban a atacar a Israel.
Going on to the next news story. Why does Israel want to attack Syria?
¿Por qué Israel quisiera atacar a Siria?
Because Iran has put 10 military bases right on Israel's doorstep.
Porque ya Irán ya ha colocado unas ¿cuántas ya?
10.
Unas 10 bases militares alrededor de lo que es Israel.
So Israel doesn't want their enemy right on their doorstep.
Así que Israel no quiere a sus enemigos ahí junto a sus puertas.
This is why we study the book of Esther.
Es por esta la razón que estudiamos el libro de
Because
Esther.
who is Iran?
Porque ¿quién es Irán?
Up until World War I, what was their name?
Antes de la Primera Guerra Mundial, ¿cómo era su nombre?
Persia.
Era Persia.
So you might want to read the book of Esther to see what's going on.
Así que deberías de
Oh, we're going to
leer
do it tomorrow.
Esther para ver qué acontece y mañana lo estaremos haciendo.
Going on to the next news story. I think that's it. That's it for the news stories.
Ese es el final de las historias.
Now, if you're out there,
Esas noticias, si estás
200
afuera,
of you were out there last week.
200 de ustedes estuvieron ahí allá afuera.
Hit the doggone donate button. Now, Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. Bgmc is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close this Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.